the religion kind of expanded. It becomes one of the world great religions and cultures. It takes off. After imperialism, we know the world is going to be affected by the Industrial Revolution and then the world wars. So not focused specifically on the religion of Islam, but the region of the world that it comes from after World War II and decolonialism. Once again, the Middle East sees a thing known as Pan-Arabism. We're all Arabs. Let's try and unite to get rid of the colonial powers. Problem is, after World War II, who are our least favorite map makers in the world? The Europeans. Specifically in this case, Spitzball to you. Let's take the Kurds and some Sunnis and some others that don't like each other, and we'll make this Iraq. All right? We're going to put at least 4 groups of people who hate each other. We're going to call it Iraq because that is a good time. So that is our big example. Different ethnic groups, Turks, Kurds, Shiite, Sunnis, are lumped into one geographic area created by Europeans. And so the Middle East will be affected, number one, by oil, who has oil, and nationalism. And those two things, especially oil, will come into conflict with the Cold War. The Cold War will impact everything. And what happens as we get going, we have Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. Saudi Arabia is a big country with a very small population. Kuwait is just a small country. But both of them have access to oil, where you have bigger countries with much larger populations that don't have access to the oil. So there will be a hierarchy in the Arabic world where small countries are making billions of dollars and big, heavily populated large countries are broke. So some Arab countries appear better than others. Saudi Arabia and Kuwait also decide to sell oil to the West. This is the heyday of American industrialization, 40s, 50s, 60s. And that hurts Pan-Arabism because Saudi Arabia and Kuwait are building modern industry and modern high-rise and all these cool, neat little rich things. And other Arabic countries have got like what they've had for millenniums. This will bring in OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, mainly in the Middle East and Venezuela. Saudi Arabia and Kuwait can build schools. They can build universities. Look at, Dubai. What do we have in Dubai? Tallest building in the world. The prince makes little resorts out of like sand that look like palm trees. Why? Because he can. All right. Other Arabic countries simply can't. And so that begins to affect the religious, sectional differences, Sunni and Shiite. The oil crisis comes where OPEC does not sell oil to the West in the 1970s because of America's relationship with Israel. Gas goes through the roof and the global world economic market almost grinds to a halt, and the OPEC countries say, oh man, that really wasn't a good idea. Egypt will assume a leadership place in the Arabic world even though they are in Africa. And General Abdel Nasser turns Egypt into a modern country through mainly Soviet subsidies, which is not a good idea. He will lead several attacks on Israel, specifically in 1956, in the famous Six-Day War in 1967, and he gets beaten every time, and Egypt loses territory. Rule of warfare: when you lose, you get your stuff taken. This is how the game is played. He mercifully dies in 1970, and Anwar Sadat will take over. He will revolutionize the region in 1973 when he will achieve a truce with Israel, and then the world is truly shocked when President Jimmy Carter wins the Nobel Peace Prize by signing, I got a picture of it here somewhere, the Camp David Peace Accords in 1978, where Egypt recognizes there it is, right above Will and Alex. There's Anwar Sadat, there they are, everyone's up there. They're signing the Camp David Accords. I knew it was somewhere. This is Egyptian recognition of Israel, which is enormous. In return, Israel will slowly give back some of the land that they took from Egypt during the conflicting period, and all the other Arabic countries are pissed at Egypt. But Egypt can say, well, we got the pyramids. Hey, we got pyramids. How about you? You got nothing. You guys want to do Iran, or are you guys good?
Yeah.
This is the last slide. All right, Iran is the outlier. Nobody in the Middle East really likes, nobody really likes Iran. One, because they're Shiite. For many years, there was the United States-backed guy, the Shah of Iran. And the Shah was a big Cold War ally of ours, and we got some oil from Iran. And the Shah makes billions of dollars. But a lot of people said he invested it and he was making Iran too Western, was too American, he deviated too far from Islam. And he wasn't very nice. He was a dictator. He made millions off of his country's natural resources and didn't help out his people. When he had cancer, he is flying to the Cleveland Clinic for cancer treatment when a young cleric, an imam, the Ayatollah Khomeini, leads a takeover. Islamic fundamentalist revolution. And they demand we return the Shah. And we say no. So the Ayatollah will capture 52 American hostages and hold them for 444 days. You guys may have seen Argo, right? This is Argo. Ever since then, Iran has become very tough, anti-Western. Kids say death to America when they go to school and things like that. They don't really like it. And everyone is kind of afraid of Iran because they were worried about nuclear technology. They're the people who just might use it. And they've said, no, we want to eliminate Israel. We want to eliminate the great Western Satan. And so nobody really likes Iran because they threaten stability in the region. Hostages were released in 1980. Everyone is back home. Iran and Iraq go to war from 1980 to 1988 over territory. Millions of people are killed on each side. Saddam Hussein versus the Ayatollah Khomeini. We sided with both kind of secretly. That way whoever won, we could be their friends. But it really didn't work because Iran hated us. It's all said and done. As I said, by 1980, Iran is a theocracy, a government-led religion that is a destabilizing force. Also in the Middle East, the Palestinian Liberation Organization was led by a guy named Yasser Arafat, which kept a state of constant fighting or armed truce with Israel. He was behind the 1968 hijacking of a plane from Israel and the murdering of the Israeli hostages in Munich, Germany in 1972. And just a lot of problems with Gaza, the West Bank of the Jordan River. And no one really liked him until there was a movement known as the Intifada, where some young teenagers were out after curfew. It was like a Boston Massacre-ish type thing. This is real Cliff Notes version. They threw some rocks at Israeli soldiers. There was some fighting, and it encouraged a whole new group of youth to join the anti-Israeli movement and the Intifada. Yasser Arafat died. All right. We've got like Ariel Sharon and Benjamin Netanyahu and guys. And trying to form peace now that Yasser Arafat is gone. We are still working on it. At the Oslo Peace Accords in Norway, peace talks have been ongoing for the last 12 years with Presidents Bush and Obama saying we're trying to find a roadmap to peace, but there's just a lot of tension and a lot of things to work through. So that is the history of Islam and a little bit of decolonization in the Middle East in 1 hour. Questions? That was fast. No? Are you guys good? Jeff?
Like in the, I guess in like the earlier ages, like Silk Road and stuff, what were like the main exports from the Middle East?
From the Middle East, gold, salt, and ironwork and cotton. Coming in was like glass, silk, and like horses. Alright. And we will do all the trade routes, whiz bang, next week, and it'll be awesome. Alright. I will see you guys perhaps tomorrow. If not, I'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you.
You're very